Hello, everyone. I am back. Did you miss me? Hopefully, Dylan, Alan, and Brad handled things pretty well while I was gone, but I'm glad to be back on here to talk Orange County Soccer Club, and we're going to get things started right now. This is the Orange Black SoccerCast.
This is the Orange and Black SoccerCast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. Follow us on Twitter at OCSC_SoccerCast or on Facebook at Orange and Black SoccerCast.
How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black SoccerCast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Samora, and I'm going to take you through this beautiful journey tonight as we talk all things Orange County Soccer Club. Joining me as he does each and every episode, even when I'm not here, he takes the reins, is Dylan from Caroline Coalition. Dylan, how are you doing after handling the main hosting duties last week?
That was really all Alan. So I'm all good. But I am going to take a moment to complain about the heat, and I will take the heat from everyone else elsewhere in the country. It's hot, and I feel very bad for our guests tonight.
Definitely, and sorry, I didn't mean to give less credit to Alan than was due. I know he was handling the production side of things, which before we went live, we were talking. It's not as easy as it looks sometimes, and I know I mess up all the time. But Alan will tell you it's not the easiest thing. Alan, in San Diego, how are you feeling now that you don't have to do all the production side of things?
Great. That means the right videos are going to get played. So as far as that goes, it's a step up from last week. But glad to have you back. We miss you a little bit as much as we say Samora out. I think this podcast would not feel the same without you here. So I'm glad you're back to running things, choosing the right videos, and making us look actually like we know what we're doing.
Hey, I'm going to always try my best to make it look like we know what we're doing. But let's get things started right here. Well, actually, I was going to bring on a guest, but I don't know if I see our guest still on the live stream here. So I'm going to hang tight really quick while we wait to see if he makes his way back on. But I'm changing topics now because of this. And let's talk about the first match to discuss. Actually, I think we have our guest back here. Let's bring him on here really quick and see if this works. We're going to go ahead and bring him on. He's a midfielder for your Orange County Soccer Club. We're definitely going to ask him how he's dealing with the heat in the USL, and especially a game a few weeks back in Vegas. That's Mikko Kuningas. Welcome to the Orange Black SoccerCast, Mikko.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. I had some technical difficulties here, so now I can hear you.
Awesome. I'm glad you were able to get that thing figured out. We appreciate whenever any of the players try and fix things instead of just giving up, which is really awesome. I want to go straight to the question. You came over from the Finnish league, which I believe is in a little bit colder part of the world than what we have some in this part of the world here in Southern California. You had a game recently in Las Vegas. Kickoff was like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. How has that been for you dealing with the crazy heat that you have playing in the summertime here in the USL?
First, that was brutal experience. Like I knew there was like they told me like something like this kind of like the circumstances can be really brutal sometimes, and I was like, yeah, I can deal with it. And but when we went first time there to Vegas, I was like so surprised how did it really went. Like I've been describing that like to my friends back in Finland, like when you step out of the bus and there's like somewhere from the bus there's coming the warm, like really warm air, flow somewhere from the bus, and I'm be like, it's the same feeling, but you just can't walk away from it. It's just like following you, the same heat all the time. It was crazy, but I'm glad we got the result there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. And I it was one of the things I was asking the club if we could get a chance to speak with either yourself or Eero, just someone that has probably never dealt with that type of heat. I know, it's a culture shock for a lot of people that have come over from colder parts of the world for that. How have you transitioned here with Orange County? How's, it's now been a few months that you've gotten here with the club. Do you feel like your transition from European to American soccer has gone well? And what are some positives you've seen out of your time so far here in Orange County?
First of all, it took a couple extra games to get used to it. Like I didn't know what I was waiting for. I didn't know what to expect from like soccer here. Like, but it was it took a couple games to get to know people, get to used to it. Like the playing style is a little bit different here, but at the moment, I think like now I feel more comfortable to play here.
Yeah, one of the things that I think fans have been excited to see from you early on in the season is some of your set pieces when you're a little bit further back away from the goal. You've had some pretty nice set pieces with some deliveries into the box, I believe, even at contributing to a goal or two with some of those set pieces. Is that something that's always been part of your game, or is that something that you've added to your game this season?
I've been giving set pieces before, but I think I've been more what's the word? More effective this season. Like we couldn't score a lot goals in Finland from my set pieces. I don't know why. I think they were the same way than here, but maybe they are defending better there. I don't know. But we have done a couple like nice goals from the set pieces this season, and I think we are strong in the set pieces, and I hope we can continue using them as a weapon this season.
Oh no, they've been definitely beautiful opportunities when we've seen those. That along with the long throw-ins that we've seen from players like Kevin Alston and Brent Richards, which is pretty cool. And especially when you get in some of those smaller, compact baseball type fields that we have in the USL, those become very strong weapons. Have you ever played on any fields in your career that are as small as some of those baseball stadium fields?
I have. We used to call them like postcards, really small fields. Like it's been usually really tough games. It's just like it's something like that. Like you're gonna get one throw in and you're gonna score and you're gonna win the game. And so that was like small fields hasn't been the first like experience. Or yeah.
So I want to ask you to be honest with this next answer. Had you ever heard of Orange County Soccer Club before being approached to join the team this season? Had you heard anything about this team prior to joining them?
No, I really didn't know anything about like soccer or football here that we are used to saying. Like it was like soccer has been something I didn't know at all. So I was asking my friends. I actually have like a couple guys there like from US in Finland who were like telling something about it. But I think this like second tier here has changed a lot like in like past few years. So I think like they didn't know a lot about this, and it's been a nice experience because I didn't expect like still like on the season last season I didn't know that I would be here like this season, and it was quite funny how it went so fast that like in 2 weeks from the first phone calls I already signed a contract, and I was like, wow, that happened so fast. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad that I joined the club here, and it's been a nice experience.
I'm going to hand it off to Dylan for a question here next.
Yeah. So Mikko, you came over with Patrick from the same club and Eero from the same country, and I believe the three of you are all represented by the same agent. So how did that go down, where all three of you ended up coming here?
Well, yeah, we played in the same team with Patrick, and Patrick told me like that he's been trying to find a club from here, like from US, like all the season he was looking different options. And he just told me like if I want, he can introduce my like me to his agent, and we can have a discuss like if I want, like maybe he can find something. Like I was like, well, at this point, like in this, like it was already like we were playing the last 5 games or something. I was like, yeah, actually, why not? Like to if he can get any like opportunities to me from US, like no, why no? Like why not? And Patrick was actually really mad because. Mad about it because he was trying really hard to get here, and when when we got the first phone call, it took like 2 weeks to me to get here, and he was like he tried to come here for 6 months, and now I came there, and that happened like in 2 weeks, and he was so mad about it. But it's so nice that we are now teammates again here.
Nice. And then other than that, you've played in a number of positions thus far this season for Orange County, and lately you've kind of played as an inverted winger. So how, in addition to adapting to a new place to live and a new place to play, how is it kind of featuring on the right and tucking in?
I didn't feel that really tough because I've been always quite versatile player that coaches has seen me playing for the team, and like they can really take me to the like left side or right side or middle. Like I think like last season the only position I didn't play was the goalie. And like there was like couple moments I had to play, like couple minutes in a game I had to play as a center back last season, and I used to like I enjoyed more like right side, but it like the main position is probably still the central midfield, but like I'm just like I'm gonna play there where I help the most the team, so like it doesn't really matter. But I think like I can play in many different positions.
Well, I can't wait to see you all over the place.
So you mentioned the heat and how shocking it was. What's easier, playing when it's hot outside or playing in the snow? Because I'm sure you've had some experience doing that as well. Which one's easier?
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point, because I've been saying I'm never gonna complain about the heat anymore. But I'm gonna complain about cold weather now. Now if it goes under the 20 degrees in Celsius in Finland, I'm gonna complain. Well, even that's a hot in Finland sometimes.
You're now a Californian when it
Oh yeah.
when it deviates between 10 degrees, 80 degrees too hot, less than 70 too cold. So you'll fit right in.
Totally.
So making a cross-continental change, what about Orange County, like, is there something that you found that like reminds you of home, and then is there something that you miss? Like, so what kind of surprised you, made you make a connection to Orange County, and what's something that you miss from home?
I think the biggest thing to me, what I miss is the city life. Like in Finland, all the cities are really compact, and you can just take your bike and like go across the city in 5 or 10 minutes. That's like really basic in Finland, a typical city in Finland. But here, when I came here, I was like, wow, I actually bought a bike first weeks, and I was biking for 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm still here. Like I first, like in Finland, I thought like I was looking from the map, okay, I'm gonna take bike and just bike like straight to the beaches, like there to the coast, and I was like, wow, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, but I think like I love people here. Like there's been so many new friends, so many nice people I have met. So I think that's the best thing here, and especially like we have a lot of games, but well, of course, as a player, you enjoy playing, so it's been a nice.
Yeah, you seem to play with an edge, but like a joyful edge. Like it seems like you are enjoying when things are going well, but there's always that little bit of really competitiveness. Where did that come from? Like finding that joy in being competitive?
Maybe like I have always been very I have two big brothers, and I've been always trying to challenge them, and maybe it's coming from there. Like I'm always trying to beat them in any sport or even wrestling, which is happening at the moment. Like I can do it now, but when I was younger I couldn't do that. But I think the competitive just like the way of living is coming from there. It's been like I hate losing. I love winning, and that's yeah. So I really enjoy when everything is going well, but at the same point I really have the feeling like I need to understand that like we need to all the time improve our game, improve our like how we play. Even the like results are quite okay, but still we need to improve to get it there at the end of the season.
Perfect. Now we just want to ask you a couple fun questions. We like to do this with all of the players that join us. Nothing really soccer related. The one that I always tend to ask, just because I'm a huge music nerd, is what's sort of your hype up song for a match, or what's just something you like to listen to when you're working out or training? What's that song, that go to, either song or artist?
Actually, there's one artist here. This is a legendary Finnish rock and roll band. That rock and roll, punk rock as a genre is like something I used to listen. I get the energy from there. And there was like actually only one thing I knew from Orange County was Social Distortion when I came here. So I actually first time like last game I heard fans chanting the one chant based on Story of My Life. So I was really enjoying that there. I'm doing my warming up, and I really hope I'm gonna hear that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, awesome to hear that you have that connection here with Orange County with Social D. I'll have to just talk to you maybe after a match. Something you have to give me the name of a band or two of a Finnish rock band that I can. I like to listen to music from all over the world, so I want to definitely hear some of that. One last quick thing I want to do before I hand it off to Dylan for his question for you is we do have someone listening on this live stream that I guess their girlfriend was very excited that you were going to be on the stream tonight, and they were asking if you can give a shout out to Carrie before we let you go. So I'm going to hand it over to you. You want to give a shout out to Carrie?
Shout out to Carrie. That's yeah. I don't know what to say. So Carrie,
just say hi to Carrie.
Hi to Carrie. All the best. Greetings from you.
Awesome. Let me hand it over to Dylan for his always fun question before we let you go.
Yeah, if you thought it was bad enough being requested to do a random shout out, Mikko, what is your favorite vegetable and how do you prepare it?
Can it be any vegetable, like any type of vegetable?
Whichever one is your favorite, yeah, as long as it's a vegetable.
I would say sweet potato, and like I would like to I like to make it in oven, so baked sweet potatoes. They're quite okay.
Okay, simple.
It's a very underrated option. There is a baked sweet potato. I mean, here in America, pretty much sweet potato is you throw marshmallows on top of it and and cinnamon, and that's what you do with sweet potatoes or something. But no,
that's why we look
is that
like
wrong?
what we look like, and Mikko looks like what Mikko looks like.
We use sweet potatoes in this household like people use like russet potatoes and others. Like anytime we have mashed potatoes, it's mashed sweet potatoes. Like we just like substitute it. Last night we had some baked sweet potato, and I agree that is a very delicious addition to any meal. Take out the russet, substitute for sweet potato, and you've upgraded your dish.
That's my guy.
What an offer there from Mikko. Mikko, we want to let you go. We don't want to take too much of your time, but before we let you go, do you have any last message for the fans that'll be heading out to the match this weekend when you guys take on Sacramento?
Let's build something great this season together. And like I said, I wish I'm gonna hear more social D chance maybe next week, and then let's do it together.
I'm sure, we got members of County Line Coalition listening to this. I'm sure you will get that request to hear more Social D in the stands. And if not, Dylan's going to let them all know right now to make sure they have that on the rotation to hear quite often. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mikko Kuningas, the midfielder for your Orange County Soccer Club. Mikko, as always, whenever a player joins us, we're appreciative, but thank you so much for taking some time and speaking to us and letting the fans learn a little bit more about you.
Thank you for having me here.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That was a pretty cool opportunity there with Mikko on here. It's awesome to hear that that connection there with Social D. Social D is a pretty good musical choice there, and I'm sure we're going to hear some of that. Dylan, you're going to make that happen if County Line Coalition forgets. You're going to make sure they remember that this weekend, right?
They're not going to forget. I'm going to be the one that's going to forget. So we'll have to listen to some Social D and get something going. But hey, look who's here.
I think this person that's right here on the stream below me, I think he's planning on being out this weekend, so he can remind you to do the Social D thing. If I'm correct, right, Brad? He's muted, of course.
Pulling a Brad from the get-go. Shows up 15 minutes late.
Yo, hello, boys. Yes, I will be there. No, I will not remember anything about Social D.
Do you even know who Social D is, Brad?
Not a clue, and I came too late to really figure that out.
Oh, Social Distortion, the great band from Orange County. Oh, okay. But yes. Go onto your Spotify or your Apple Music, whatever you use, and go bust out some Social D playlists right now, because you need to find out about that. I'm sure if Mikko's still listening on the green room to hear what we're talking about, he's really mad at you right now, Brad, and he'll let you know at the game on Saturday. I could see him in the green room, and he has a big old smile. He's chuckling at you right now, Brad. I wish I could bring him on right now just so he could roast you right now for not knowing who Social D was.
Okay, I show up late to one podcast, and I get roasted more than Alan's sweet potatoes. Okay.
Perfect. Well, we'll have
hazing.
When you come down, Brad, we're definitely going to let you hear some Social D, and you'll have to do, hear the chants from County Line Coalition. As much as we're having fun roasting Brad about not knowing who Social D is, we do have a lot to talk about in a short bit of time here. There's 2 matches that we have to quickly cover, and then there's a match we have to preview in about 25 minutes or so. So let's get on to that. First off, I'm going to hand it over to Alan to just sort of go with this first one, because I'm sure he's the happiest of the 3 of us, of the 4 of us. 4. I got to learn how to count 4. I got used to Brad not being here while we were talking to Mikko that I forgot. Alan, let's talk about San Diego. How happy are you after that disastrous match from Orange County against San Diego?
I thought it was probably one of the most entertaining USL matches I've watched this season. And not just from a San Diego perspective. I thought Orange County played well at times. I think that they might have got Orange County is probably a little bit lucky that San Diego didn't score earlier. Charlie Adams blocks the goal from Miguel Ibarra, which is his first touch in the 6-yard box all season long. I think this was a tough one from Orange County because they didn't have tons of subs to sub in some fresh legs toward the end. And I really felt that had a huge impact on the way they were able to close out the match. The official was inconsistent at best. I believe this yellow card that we're watching right now has been rescinded by the league. But I thought there was some good moments from Orange County. Like the save right here was phenomenal. I think that gets in most of the time. I think this is just kind of how Orange County and San Diego are going to play each other. A tough match with, that probably could have been a goal. This could have been 3-2. It could have been 2-2 very easily. But I think overall a very entertaining match. I just think Orange County just doesn't have the depth right now to really see that game out. And San Diego really put the energy on toward the end of the match. Was give up a set piece, gives you that momentum, They rode that momentum for a couple minutes to get the second goal on an unfortunate deflection, and that was for sure yellow. And I think overall, like I said, a pretty entertaining game. Unfortunate for Orange County that they weren't able to hold on to the lead. A beautiful assist from Mikko on this goal, like how he puts that ball in, perfectly weighted, really smart play, and overall entertaining match. You just can't let a team that's down a man get 5 shots on goal in the second half.
Yes, definitely. I think that's the most frustrating part of this match. I'm going to go to you next, Dylan. How frustrated are you that not only do we go up a goal with San Diego down a man, we then give up 2 goals to San Diego, and set pieces play a big part of that. And lo and behold, oh, look, there's Alan right in the center of the screen on these highlights, drumming away. Dylan, how frustrating is it that we concede? I feel like this is a multi-year issue with this club, is set pieces. What's going on, Dylan?
I'm not sure. Well, all right, this was a complete capitulation against San Diego, and it's not the first time that we've had a man advantage and we've just decided to switch off for 5-10 minutes, and it's enough that we lose. We did it against Sacramento last year when Roro Lopez got sent off, and then just we're like, all right, we're done playing, and there was still 30 minutes left to go in that game. We all know how that one would end up. And this was kind of the same situation where dude switches off, get a little bit lazy defensively, and I mean, we can watch replay after replay after replay here. I don't know if they're not communicating on the back line. At one point, I could hear Richard Chaplow yelling at Michael Roscoe and Nathan Smith and Rob Kiernan to figure it out and to work it out and calm down, and start working together, because I mean, after both goals, they started having little goes at each other. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the set piece thing. I think in the past, it's been more of a people switching off situation. I don't think that our set pieces are set up in a way that are so poor that they will result in a greater number or greater expected number of goals from opponents than what is real. It's just laziness. But I shouldn't say it's laziness, actually. I should say it's fatigue, because at this point they'd played 5 matches in something like 16 days, 15 days. So it's an insane amount of time, and we really don't have any depth right now, which is obvious, and it's something we're going to talk about when we cover the next game as well.
Let me hand it over to you, Brad, really quick. Your thoughts on this match. Coming in, I know you've followed Orange County for the last couple seasons as, from far away as a Reno fan, but I'm sure it can become frustrating, especially because, Orange County sort of likes to share. We have a former U.S. national team in defense. We have a former, top flight in the UK player in Rob Kiernan. He played in the Scottish Premier League. He's played in some top divisions in England. So you have 2 solid center backs that were playing in this match. How do you give up 2 goals in the matter of minutes when you're up a man on a set piece like that? And how frustrated are you watching that?
I don't know if I'd say I'm frustrated. I would say that, I'm kind of shocked more than anything. This is a team that's played some good defense over the course of the year. Alan said in our little group chat, it's been over 430 or 420 minutes since Orange County conceded a goal before that point. So 2 goals in 2 minutes is surprising, to say the least, but really, this is more to say good things about San Diego. They are a quality team that we were memeing on at the beginning of the year, but they have secretly been one of the better teams in the Pacific Division, if not the whole entire USL. And, hats off to them for that. 100% deserved it. They're playing really well. But I think it's going to be good to get people like Damus back this week. I don't know if he's going to be back for this Saturday's game, but the team looked gassed over the course of the last 2 games, and they need that new rejuvenated, I guess, the depth back. Injuries have been a huge thing. depth of it has been a very big thing. So hopefully with those people coming back, we can see and have a little bit of a consistent gameplay again.
Yeah, hats off to San Diego. Definitely a well-deserved win, especially able to get the 2 goals while shorthanded. And props to the fans. I mean, you see how excited. I think listening to that broadcast, I think they were mentioning that San Diego loves to score on that side of the pitch in front of their fans. Why wouldn't they love it? There's this amazing drummer that's sitting right there in the middle of the stands drumming away. I think he trimmed his beard since that picture, that video. So maybe people won't recognize him anymore. So Orange County drops all 3 points in San Diego. The hope is coming back to RGV and reclaiming some points in that match. But unfortunately doesn't quite go the way any of us had planned, except for maybe Jacob, who was on last week. He's probably stoked about it. Let's talk about that match. And I'm going to be honest, I did not watch a bit of the RGV match. I was dealing with some personal stuff at that time, and I just wasn't in the mood to watch that. But I'm going to hand it off to Dylan to handle this part of the show as we talk about RGV. Oh, and really quick, before we do that, I'm going to petition, before we even talk about it, I'm going to petition right now. I think I should get Jacob's real prediction and not the one that he faked for me.
No.
You can't do a fake. You can't do two predictions. You can't do 2 predictions and just say, I'm going to give Ray just this fake one and I'm going to keep the real one. Right, Brad? You're on my side. I know you're on my side, Brad. I see it in your face.
I can't remember what he said. He said like a crazy prediction.
He said 4-4 for me. And then he said for him, he's going to say 3-2 RGV winning.
Well, on their podcast, which I was a part of last week, they do a crazy prediction. So I think the one that he said for himself was his crazy prediction, and the one that he said for you was his realistic prediction. So 4-4 sounds like the right one to me.
I thought you were on my side, Brad. I thought you were on my side. I'm going to remember this from each and every one of you. I expected out of this guy over here, Alan, because I screwed him over the very first one we did, but I've had each of your backs through all this. I'll remember Dylan and Brad. Go for it, Dylan. What happened in RGV or in Orange County against RGV?
Well, so I mean, if you've heard this one before, but Orange County started slow. And switching off defensively and two bad mistakes meant that this team lost. This is another situation where we have no squad depth at the moment, and it's pretty apparent that guys are just too tired. It was hot. It was pretty humid. That 5 o'clock kickoff I figured wouldn't make too much of a difference, but it was pretty nasty. And I felt pretty bad for the players, but I mean, as we're about to see in a minute, just Kobe Henry did not, to be honest with you, he had a very bad game. He got turned a number of times. We see an early mistake there in the second minute. RGV takes an early lead, and Orange County on one hand has 88 minutes to make up all that time. On the other hand, already digging themselves out of a hole minutes into the match. And then, you're giving it up to like a 40-year-old to score as well, I believe. If I'm wrong on that one. And then we generated some chances, but nothing really threatening. Tried to counterattack pretty well. It just seemed kind of disappointing. We couldn't get a lot of chances on target. And the one that we just witnessed there from the free kick, probably our best of the game. I don't know what it is about playing RGB. I don't know what it is about when Tyler Derrick is in goal with this team, but this is, I think, the third time. I think in the last couple of years that Orange County has lost 2-0 to RGB, and just another really badly timed, badly judged tackle from Kobe instead of running the guy out of bounds, and they get an easy pen, and it slots it away. And there's nothing Kowski can do there. So positive notes from this match. Darwin Jones is back. I imagine he'll probably feature come this weekend. That's mostly it. Yeah.
Well, let me say this. I mean, yeah, Kobe Henry made some mistakes, but let's do remember he is 17 years old out there. It's expected at this age that you're not going to be the most composed and you're not going to make all the right decisions. It's just one of those things where probably if you're not in the middle of a congested part of the season and you're not trying to, if you're not trying to give players the night off, or because of that, you may see a quicker pull from the coach on that. So difficult for him, but we've seen a lot more positives for him in other matches. This is just one of those matches. Hopefully, as a youngster, he can just sort of look past and move past, and it doesn't linger and it doesn't stick in his head for too long, which I know for some young players that can become an issue as well. So hoping that this match doesn't hinder his performances out there, because we know he's going to be needed through the rest of this month and through the rest of the season as well. Alan, did you get a chance to watch this match? And if so, what were your thoughts?
Yes, I drove up to Orange County to watch this one in person. I think it, Dylan nails it right on the head. I think it's just a lack of depth and just being tired. You had essentially 5 guys on the bench against San Diego. You're rolling some guys on a bench who probably aren't match fit yet. So it looks like you have subs, but you really don't. That's why Kobe Henry maybe isn't subbed on in the San Diego game, because you need him for minutes in this RGV. This is just a really tough run of games for Orange County, and RGV is for sure better than anyone thought they would be. We talked about that before the show last week. And ultimately, this 2-game losing streak seems bad, but you look at the standings, you're essentially even with San Diego for second place in the division. You're still squarely in the playoffs, and now you get some time off. The schedule is going to ease up sooner or later. You're going to get guys back. You're going to get guys fresh, and you're going to see Orange County play Orange County soccer again. I think it's just a rough patch. You got to keep pushing and believing and bring that positivity every time and to support the players, because I think they're giving their all. They're just running on fumes. And when you run on fumes against a team that isn't, you can lose a match or you can drop points. I saw this happen with San Diego against Sacramento. Guys, just a hot afternoon, you're tired, you're just going to give up something because you're just not mentally focused, right? Like, we've all been there on hot days where we just can't think straight, let alone trying to play 90 minutes of a professional game. So I think this looks bad on paper, but once you kind of break down, not to make excuses, but the reasons for dropping points, but you're still square in charge of a second place playoff, a home playoff match. So in the bigger picture, I think Orange County's fine. I think these feel bad, but I think Orange County can go on another unbeaten run very easily, and you're going to forget about these 2 games. So hats off to RGV for figuring themselves out and putting together a really good quality team that's fun to watch. And good luck for them for the rest of the season. But Orange County, I think, is just, let's ice ourselves up and pick ourselves up for the next battle.
And then I'm going to give Brad, I'm going to give you last thoughts on this match before we move on to the upcoming match against Sacramento.
How can I sum it up better than the other guys did? Tough to watch game. You could tell that it was exhausting for the players. Players like Markkanen, who's not normally a 90-minute player, is walking at times kind of slow to get to the play. Nobody's really able to get forward that game. A couple of opportunities were presented there, but unfortunately nothing really came out of it. So, just chalk it up to tired players. Hopefully fresher legs will remedy that in the future. But yeah, I don't really have anything more to add on top of those 2.
Simple and sweet from Brad there. Really quick, I just wanted to bring this up, concerning, because I know we've always been very big on the Pacific Division is really, really strong. Harry, who listens to the show out there in San Antonio, shared a tweet. I don't know how exact the stats are on this, and it may be hard for you to see on the screen, but he did mention the Mountain Division is 11 wins, 4 losses, and 4 draws in the inter-division play, while the Pacific has the worst so far on that, with only 2 wins, 7 losses, and 5 draws. Is that concerning at this point, or is it still too early in the season? Just quick from you, Dylan. Let me hear what you have to say on that.
I mean, no. Let's be realistic about this. Like, Phoenix had to travel to Charleston in the middle of the summer to play them. That is a transcontinental flight. That's probably not the right word. And then, they didn't go to Charleston, did they? They went to
Charlotte,
Charlotte, whatever. They're all the same place. Oh, and Tampa, both times, and they lost both times. It's hard to go and do that. And you look at teams that, like, San Diego went and played a red hot RGV at the beginning of the season. All of these, usually what it means, you're leaving the same kind of conditions they normally play in. It's on top of the travel and other things. So no, it's not the worst. Every away team gets a benefit coming into the Pacific, and that's probably why. Also,
Perfect.
Yeah, you're flying out the day before, like, a 3-hour time change, so your whole schedule is messed up from that.
Totally. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this upcoming match for Orange County. Probably, if we looked back a week ago, not a super important match. You'd be happy. Of course, you want the win, but you'd be happy knowing what the team is in with maybe a draw. But at this point, I think it's now really you want to win to sort of end the slide here. Sacramento comes to town. Sacramento's struggling this season, so I mean, a winnable team, beatable team. But the way Orange County is struggling and the way they're dealing with depth issues and injuries and the whatnot, it's not as easy as it seems. Is this Sacramento match a must win for Orange County, Alan? Oh, and by the way, before you talk, Alan, Orange County is going to make some money at this match. They will get some income from this match. I'm going to just say it right here, right now. They will make some money at this match. For those of you that have ever questioned how Orange County makes money, they will make some money from ticket sales and from some concessions and from selling of merchandise at the stadium. Let it be known. Go, Alan.
Wow. I don't necessarily think this is a must-win match for Orange County.
Up, Alan. There, Alan's choking on his words there for a moment. I saw Dylan. Dylan was ready to crack up a little bit. I had to go off. I was mad at that. Okay, go.
I mean, that's fine. I don't necessarily think this is a must-win. I don't think anything right now is necessarily must-win. Sacramento hasn't won a game in a long time until last week. They're still a tough team to play, but Coach Cloutier, after the match, was talking about just the lack of pace that the team has currently. Ronaldo played, I think, a full 90 for Haiti this weekend, but he should be match fit and ready to go. He didn't play all of the games Haiti played. He came in on a sub, I think, a couple of games and got a full start this last game. So he's going to be pretty good. Darwin Jones coming back is going to be great. I think you're going to use that pace to stretch defenses, because that's what Orange County's been missing. And I think that Orange County can rediscover their successful form now that they have some pace. Because as much as Eero Markkinen has strengths, pace is definitely not one of them. And if you're missing pace on the front line, it's going to be hard to win in this league. So I think having Ronaldo back, getting Darwin Jones healthy, I think those are some strengths that you're going to bring to the table that will open up play for guys like Mikko and Weehan and Olaski to do their thing. So I don't think it's a must win. I think it's a must draw. Like, get some points here. I think a win is definitely doable, though.
So the only thing, and I think Dylan was sort of questioning when we're thinking, will Ronaldo be back for this match? Coming off of the Gold Cup run, we got to remember Orange County does have a match a week from today on Tuesday. So they have a match this weekend and a match on Tuesday. Is it more preferable that Ronaldo sits this weekend and plays on the Tuesday match in Vegas, or do you see Ronaldo playing on this one, Brad?
I don't know. Obviously, he didn't get. He got plenty of minutes in the third game that Haiti played, but In the prior games, he came on for 10, 20 minutes. I think he had a game where he played most of a half. Those are all minutes that he had against quality competition, playing against the U.S. and Canada and Guadalupe. I don't know if you call them quality, though. But, he's had some good minutes. Hopefully he's not tired from it because he didn't have to play 4 games in 2 weeks or whatever Orange County played. So I don't know if you start him immediately. You might take him on from the bench if the game's in hand or winnable. Definitely a player that you would put in that situation. But definitely should hopefully see him by Tuesday if he's back with the team already.
Let's talk to you, Dylan. We'll talk a little bit more about Ronaldo, but I mean, he played a full match and he was getting knocked around. I mean, he got taken out in 2 goal scoring opportunities against who is it they played this week? I can't remember who it was. Martinique. That takes a lot out of you as well. When not just the full 90 minutes, but getting knocked around and getting taken out. Would you rather see him sit this match and play Tuesday against Vegas? And or is he needed for the Sacramento match? Is it necessary to have him out there?
I don't think he's back in time for either of the matches, but I can't count. There's too many games happening, so my math's probably wrong on that one. But no, I think you play him this weekend and you don't let him play on Tuesday because the pitch in Vegas is small. So playing a long ball over the top is not going to do anything, and we should have figured this out by the first match we played in Tacoma and the match we've played in Vegas. Oh, okay, apparently he'll be back on Monday. Alan has talked to Braden Cloutier sooner than me, so I think you play him on Tuesday.
Well, he's got the direct line to Braden Cloutier. He's got him on speed dial, so we know Alan gets all the insider information. Now we know where to go for that insider info.
They've got that soccer's connection. So, excuse me, you play him on Saturday against Sacramento, and he has enough pace, and he's clinical enough to really cause that side problems. And then you rest him on Tuesday, and you let him take a little bit of a break. I don't think that this game against Sacramento is a must-win, but I do think you need to pick up a point just to keep things from falling apart in the dressing room. And then I also think this is a game where Orange County needs to rotate a lot of guys. This is probably a game where Kevin Olson's going to play. We're probably going to see Darwin Jones come in. And, if you have Darwin Jones, you don't necessarily need to play Ronaldo in the same match.
And obviously we need to hear a lot of social D so Brad can learn who that is and so that Nico can be excited on that match. Any last thoughts from any of you before we go to match predictions?
That's the story of my life. Dylan's right. That Vegas pitch is narrow and short. It's about as narrow as San Diego, but it's shorter. And so you don't need that speed. You can't really get in behind too often against Vegas. So I do think that's a great shout by Dylan. Some of the what are the words I'm looking for? The ins and outs of the USL is understanding pitch size because that does have a huge effect on how you play the match. So good shout there. Again, just depends on DJ's fitness level.
So size does matter is what Alan is saying.
I was
there.
about to say Vegas probably thinks size doesn't matter. So.
Yeah, and we're about to learn that it is all about how you use it. So this
It is
is
how
all
you use
where you dominate possession and you just bomb crosses in the box.
Well, there's the title for the episode, folks.
Sorry to people and children.
And hey, we're not going to preview that match because we're going to see if we can put in or do a quick episode before that match next Tuesday if we can make it work out for everyone's schedules, or maybe I'll just do it myself. But one positive even before we get to that is 4th of July is gone, so we hopefully don't have to hear or watch an hour-long firework commercial at halftime where 2 guys are walking you through some warehouse of fireworks and explaining every single box of fireworks there in over the hump in Pahrump. Let's do this. Score predictions then against Sacramento. Really quick before we do that, we got to go to our prediction score sheet. Last week against San Diego, Alan got 4 points because he predicted a San Diego victory. The rest of us all got 3 points because we at least got one of those scores correct. Against RGV, everyone got goose eggs. I still feel like I should get, and Jacob, if you are listening, I saw you listening earlier. If you're still listening, tell these guys that you really meant to give me the prediction of 3-2 for RGV and not that ridiculous 4-4 prediction. If you're still listening, throw it in the comments. If you put it on the comments, that counts. So as of right now, heading into this match, unless that score does change for me, we do still have Dylan in the lead, and he's got a comfortable lead at this point with 48 points. Brad is in second with 31 points. So he's 17 points already behind Dylan on this. Alan has moved up to third place with 27 points, and I am at 26 points. But again, that's pending. If we can get Jacob's approval to give me that 3-2 score, I'm going to take it, and I run the show. Hey, I run the show. If he says yes, then we're going to count it. Let's do score predictions here. Remember, Orange County score first, and we're going to go in order. So, Alan, you go first.
Against Sacramento, this is a tough one. Let's see. I think Orange County will score a number of goals, and then Sacramento will also score a number of goals that are greater or equal to 0. Let's do 2-1 Orange County.
Perfect. What's your prediction, Brad?
Well, I said just in case I were to miss this moment, 2-1, but I got to change it now because Alan likes to steal my predictions. You know what? Let's go 2 goose egg. I've been to 2 Orange County games this year. Coincidentally, also 2 Sacramento games. This will be 3 of each. And I haven't seen Sacramento win one of those games yet, so I'm going to say 2-0.
Dylan, what's your prediction?
Sorry, did he just predict Orange County? Is he even allowed on the podcast? It's
Who?
2-1 Orange County. Is Brad allowed on the podcast ever predicting that Sacramento would win?
I said Orange County would win 2-0.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Orange County score first. I didn't say
All right.
0-2.
The heat has melted my brain, so my apologies to everyone.
And get ready for the bombs here on you, Dylan, for saying it's hot when you're not in Phoenix or Vegas or Texas or whatever. What was your prediction, Dylan? You said 2-1?
Yeah, 2-1. And I pay for the
Perfect.
privilege to not live in those
Here we go.
places.
You ready for my prediction, Dylan? Are you ready for it?
Let me guess. Can I guess?
Go for the guess.
5-0 Sacramento.
My prediction, 5-0 Orange County.
Yikes.
Ooh.
5-0 Orange County. I'm so far behind on this competition. I need to go crazy, and I need to go for some crazy score lines and hope that they happen. So we're going to go for that. Let's talk really quick. We're almost out of time, but I want to give, I know we briefly talked about it, but let's talk about Ronaldo. He got some experience with Haiti in the Gold Cup. The final match, although it is against Martinique, he played a key part to some goals for Haiti. Looked decent, but also looked a little young out there. But how important is it to get this international experience for Ronaldo? And how will it help him for the remainder of the season? Just some quick thoughts on it. I'll go to you first, Dylan.
Well, almost his entire team tested positive for COVID. So I'm not sure how much of a good experience he had. But it was a nice little break. Yeah, he got to play. And, hopefully he carries the confidence from representing his country well and carries it back here to Orange County and continues on with his, frankly, incredible form.
What about you, Alan? Do you think this experience is a positive, not just for Ronaldo, maybe for the rest of the season, but for his future? Or do we have to worry now that he's made this impression on the international stage where we might lose him sooner rather than later?
I don't think necessarily. I think Gold Cup really is a good showpiece for USL players. I think there are quite a few. Even Tyler Pasher for Canada. You got some guys called up for the Jamaican national team. I think this is a good opportunity to show that USL is really big in the development of not only American players, but also for this, the Caribbean countries to draw some talent in and make USL a stronger and more international league. I'm going to borrow some ideas that we had when San Diego played Xolos. Is when you play guys at kind of the next higher level, You can talk about it and you can coach about it, but there's a difference when you play it. And I think any experience you can get where you're playing guys that are probably that next level up is going to make you a better player. Playing against them, playing with them, I think just that experience, there's nothing that can replicate it. So anytime you can play on a stage like the Gold Cup, I know it's not Europa or whatever, but it's a really good stage for USL players, especially younger players, and I think it's just going to do him a good service. And I think the more USL players that get exposed in the Gold Cup, I think it just will bring in more opportunities for guys who want to sign here and get some pro experience.
You're pulling a Brad. Brad.
I pulled a Brad. I was going to say, Andy, who is listening live on the stream, he had chimed in with the comments and said, hopefully pro referees are the referees that are at the USL matches. Hopefully they're watching and how he makes the runs and stays on side, because that happens a lot where he gets flagged. Brad, last thoughts on Ronaldo's experience in the Gold Cup before we wrap things up.
Yeah, I agree with Andy. Seeing players in the USL like Fleming's, like
agreeing with Alan.
Yeah, I said Alan. Did I say Andy?
You did.
Sorry, I'm tired too. But seeing players like Damas play in the Gold Cup and other competitions is only good for the game, especially in the USL. You want to see more players coming here to springboard their careers, especially those younger players. I don't know if that means we'll see Damas go away sooner, but he's a good player. And if he does get called up somewhere, then that's good for him.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him back with Orange County. We definitely need his pace up top. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing how the club can integrate Ronaldo and Darwin Jones together for some attacking power and some pace up front. Really quick, before we go to our random thoughts, anything else anyone has to say soccer related or football, for people like Mikko Kuningas? I will jump in and I'll say, hey, Olympics have kicked off, even though opening ceremonies are not for another 48 to 72 hours. Olympics are on the way. I was watching some Japan versus Australia softball a little bit earlier today, and I think soccer kicks off at some point overnight. I believe they were advertising Great Britain versus Chile at like 3:30 a.m. on the Pacific time zone. Excuse you there, Brad. So, some more sports. This is the time of year where there's a lot of sports, but it's weird because there's no fans. So, and there's this pandemic going on. And apparently it's impacting the Olympics. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I just wanted to throw that out there. So soccer fix, though, we just, there's Gold Cup and now there's Olympic soccer that'll be happening, plus the USL. And a lot of European teams are starting their preseason fitness training and matches. So there's a lot of soccer/football to watch.
Unless you're Arsenal and you cancel your preseason games in Florida because COVID.
Go Arsenal. Any other soccer related stuff before we?
What?
Yeah. That was a sarcastic go Arsenal.
I'm clipping that.
I'm not letting you, man. I'm erasing that right away. What do you guys got? Anything soccer related? All right. Random thought time. Let's go to the person that joined the stream first tonight. That's Alan in San Diego. Random thought.
Oh, my random thought was going to be about the women's national team kicking off at 1:30, and good luck to those of you who are staying up or waking up early. There's coffee that you can probably use. I don't think Brad's going to make it to 1:30. He says no.
Oh, he could do it. He could do it.
So all of you Premier League fans who have been practicing, this is your waking up early Olympics to watch the women's national team kick off at 1:30 against Sweden. So good luck to those of you who are doing that, especially the folks who have to because it's their job.
There's a neat function that are on a lot of TVs these days, and it's called like DVR or like recording function or streaming on demand. So that might be an option for some people. If you haven't heard of it, go look it up. Brad, or not Brad, Dylan. I'm looking around. I'm trying to figure out everyone's name. Dylan, your random thought.
Yeah, third time's the charm, right?
Well, I mean, third name. I'm gonna eventually get your name right out of the four.
You could have said Andy like I did earlier.
I could have,
Yeah.
or I could have said my own name.
Cameron.
Be weird.
Cameron. Mikko.
Hey, Mikko. Yeah. All right. There was some pretty bad.
We confused him so much with these names that he's drawn a blank. Should I go to Brad first and then we can come back to you, Dylan?
No, man, I got it. There was some pretty bad, or is some pretty bad flooding in Western Europe at the moment, and over in Japan we've got some cardboard beds to solve the climate crisis, which is a really apt metaphor.
Apparently, it's been debunked that they're not like no sex beds, because apparently there's a gymnast from Ireland that jumped up and down on the bed to prove that.
Oh
they don't
yes, a
break.
gymnast.
Hey, man, they're pretty stocky and flexible. No, but I think it
was a male gymnast, by the way.
It's still flexible, man.
I just wanted to make sure people don't go to take their minds the wrong way from what you were saying there, Dylan.
Anyway,
I think that was the whole segment about cardboard beds. Where have you been?
Well, this podcast is now an hour and 20 minutes long, but yeah, be good to Mother Earth. It's hot here. It's hot everywhere else too, and it's only going to get worse. So we should take care of the place we live in.
Are we going to get in trouble because Dylan did not quote Nelly when he said it's hot in here?
Nice.
I just got to ask that. Brad, your random thought.
My random thought this week is other than me being exhausted more than usual, I'm going to be at the game on Saturday, guys. I'll be there. Come say hi to me. I enjoy seeing you guys.
I'm not sure I will, actually.
Okay.
There is a cure for exhaustion, and that's called sleep.
Yeah, tell me about it. I got 8.5 hours last night, and I'm still exhausted. Yeah, no, we don't talk about it. It might be the coffee I drank today. Anyways, I'm going to be at the game. Very likely I'm going to have my twin brother with me. So if you thought that one Brad was enough, get ready to meet a second Brad. So
Is his name also Brad?
No, his name's Eric.
It'd be cool if his name was like Brad. Who's
What
older?
if it's Bradley?
I am.
You are, so you'd be like Brad 1 and he could be Brad 2. That would have been pretty cool.
If that's what you want to do. But yeah, I will be. Yeah, Andy's surprised I have a twin. Yeah, no, my family's weird. We have 2 sets of twins in my family. You guys are learning so much about me today.
This isn't even random thought. This is just random information.
This is random thread. Anyways, I'll keep it short. I'll be at the game on Saturday, and then I will be at the game in Vegas on Tuesday. So if you guys are bold enough to make a trip up on Tuesday or live in the Vegas area, I'll see you guys at that game too.
Make sure you harass Brad at the OC game and say hi to him. Ask for his autograph. Let's see what he does with that. Beat him up. My random thought, I already sort of mentioned it was I wanted to talk about Ronaldo. I wanted to talk about the Olympics. Yeah, that's about it. So we'll wrap things up here. Really quick, Alan, where can people follow you on social medias?
Underwood40 on the Twitter machines.
Dylan.
You can, for whatever reason, you can find me at OCSC_Dylan on Twitter.
And Brad.
You can find me at Pal on the Sky on the Twitter machines, and you can follow my twin at Palansk spelt similarly, but with an E instead of Sky.
Everyone start following his twin just for random follows to ramp that up. You can follow me at DJ Ray Samora or the podcast at OCSC_SoccerCast. You can also go to our website, OCSCpodcast.com, to listen to each and every episode that we've ever put out, because obviously if you've listened this far, you like to hear what we have to say and you want to listen to more. I want to thank our guest tonight, Mikko Kuningas, midfielder for Orange County Soccer Club, for joining us and sharing his thoughts, and also sharing with us the amazingness of baked sweet potatoes. And of course, Dylan, Alan, Brad, thanks as always for being on this journey with us. So for everyone, this is the Orange and Black SoccerCast, and we are out. I got to play the music, huh?